So we had mentioned the metronome training. Since Daniel's already learned how to do the bridge, now we're going to introduce a little bit higher level of difficulty where you're going to be doing this in rhythm with a metronome. It actually helps develop the neurological pathways that we want, because eventually we want this to be automatic. We don't want you thinking, okay, I'm stabilizing. We want you stabilizing with activity, and especially with activity that's up on your feet, because ultimately that's how you're going to function. So this is the crawling phase of what we're doing. Eventually we want these techniques to be applied to standing activities when the spine is actually loaded, but you're going to tolerate it a lot more in the beginning phases in the horizontal position without being loaded. So go ahead and bend these knees again. And from here, we're going to start the metronome. And this is we decided this was 40 beats per minute. And so let's do the bridge that we did before, where you're rocking up on your heels, squeezing the glute muscles. And so when you hold your hips up, I want you to do it at the count of 5 clicks. And then you lower for 5 clicks. So now you're keeping in time with the metronome. And so that's for the first stage of the bridge. And again, we already decided that you don't have to do that. You've demonstrated good ability. But sometimes you'll do this with your patients, where it's like you introduce this and it's like, oh wow, you're pretty good at that. So now we'll move on to the next one. So the next one you're going to pick up, and we're going to do that marching that you've done before. Okay, and we're going to try to keep in rhythm with that. You got it. And then in that case, we'll go 5 clicks with each leg, and then rest for 5 clicks. And you can see why, as we're teaching the exercise the first time, we don't want to confuse the person with the metronome. You know, we're going to introduce that once they've already mastered the exercise to a certain extent, and then we add the metronome. You'll have a metronome going off in the room, and some people might be exercising to the beat of the metronome, while others, you just tell them, don't worry about that yet. Let's just get the technique straight. So that's the metronome, and we do incorporate that as much as we can just to facilitate our results.